Hello, this is Cross1, and today I'm going to talk about video games, because yesterday I talked about movies, and the day before that I talked about music. So video games, they're great. They're my personal favorite form of media, of entertainment, because you're involved in it. It's not just you're watching this happen or you're reading this happen. You're directly taking part of it. And so the character starts to become you. You are the character as much as it is you. Now, of course, sometimes in a lot of video games stuff is scripted. So, I mean, you start to lose touch with the character. But once it becomes the video game again, no matter how open world or linear it is, the character is as much you as you are it. Like, you chose to play this video game, and the character chooses to be. I know that sounds weird, but no other form of media can bring you that close to the character. Because you decide what the character does. You can make him just go, no, I'm gonna spin in circles for half an hour. Of course, that'd be a complete waste of time, and I'm sure the video game has a lot more to offer, but every time you choose to open up that game and play it, you're becoming the character by your choice. And the character doesn't really have a choice to become you, but it still does. In books, the character doesn't become you. Or in movies, the character doesn't become you. Or in any form of media, the character does not become you. It does what it does on its own. In video games, you have to personally take care of the story. You have to... Of course, you don't have to. That's where you go to close the video game. But whenever something happens, it's happening not only to the character, but to you. When I'm reading a book and somebody gets shot, that's not my fault. I don't have a lot of bad video games, that also isn't your fault, which really breaks the game and makes it a bad game, but if somebody gets shot, of course I'm just using this as an example in a book, that's sad and everything, like if it was a character you cared about, but what could have you done? You could have stopped reading, but then what's the point in that? In a good video game, if somebody gets shot, that's your own damn fault. You brought this character to this point just to die. Now this can happen with the main character, it can happen with a side character, it doesn't matter. It can just happen to a random person. But it's your fault. Now with the same thing as the book, you could have just closed it and went, nope, not gonna die. Nope, sorry, I like that character too much, I'm afraid I can't let him die. And then just be there, but again, what's the point of that? And that really separates a good video game from a bad video game. Being able to control it, almost. And a lot of video games don't know how to do this, because it's difficult to do, because if you want to convey a plot, you gotta have something to convey that plot to you. You have to receive information somehow. A lot of times that's done through a side character. So that side character, therefore, cannot die. Because he's the one, he is carrying the plot for you. If that character dies, then you're just stuck there. You can't advance. Now, a lot of good video games would make it so another character that was pre-introduced can take the stick from there, but... Or if you have enough to go off of, then you're fine, but... And of course, it's up to the developers of the game to make it not so simple, or make it so your character has the drive to carry the plot by himself. But then that makes it so if you yourself don't like the plot and don't want to carry on that drive, then you're just going through the motions of some other guy, and you're back to the reading the book syndrome, where you're just watching this happen. None of this was your own design. There's a game called the Stanley Parable, and all you do is walk around, And if the choices are presented to you, and if you walk to where you want to walk to, that changes the story. Now this is brilliant. It's a great game with great narration, and it's a great story. But the only thing is it's short, because that's difficult to do. It's only like 3 hours long if you just speedrun it. Although there is one part where you have to do a repetitive motion for like 4 hours straight, and then you unlock a secret ending, which is great. And that is a good way of making your choice feel important. You are the person that sat down in your chair for 4 hours straight and did the same repetitive motion just to see what would happen. That's great storytelling, because then you have the drive. You agreed with your character on this, and you kept going with it. I'm doing different points. You are the one who's decided to do this. You make every single choice in that game. Anytime you can make a choice, you do make a choice. Like, do I want to continue by this game? No. Boom. Done. Choice made. Do I want to go left or right? Left. Boom. Done. Choice. And it's great. And it doesn't hinge any part of the story. You made that choice, and that character is now you. It's not becoming you. It's not pretending to be you. It's not doing what you would do. It is you. That's the only way to describe that character, as you. Because that character could leave by exiting the game. That character could end up in a situation you're not comfortable with and try to leave it. And when that character's in trouble, you yourself are in trouble. You've gained a connection with this character that's so deeply entrenched because it is you that when good stuff happens to your character, you feel good. When bad stuff happens to your character, you feel that pain. Not like books, where if somebody does something you don't agree with, it's like, well, I feel bad for him, yeah, but, oh, there's a phone. But there's nothing I can really do about it. I'm gonna answer this phone. Hello? Hi. Cool, I'm not sure. Yeah, nice. But, anyways, that character is you. And that's what video games bring that, nothing else brings. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Media Week. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about another form of media. Maybe books, maybe TV, maybe vlogs. I don't know. Anyways, this has been That Cross One with the teleporting door saying, hello? Just, sometimes it, never mind. Goodbye.